I didn't see the light.
It's flashing red.
Huh? Oh, it is going.
Oh, it is going? Okay.
That's all right. We can still do it this way.
You know how to
The
touch
show-
it, I'm sure.
The Method Actor Speaks Part 2. I'm here with Bonnie Gayle, the creator of Sex Butter. We were having such a great conversation until the phone rang. And now we're going to come back and talk a little more. So please, and if you want to get in touch with me over here, you can get in touch at the Method Actor Speaks at Gmail or 818-773-0991. Now back to Bonnie. We were talking, where were we on part 1?
Orgasms?
Orgasms. How can you forget
The benefits?
that? The benefits of orgasms, yes.
Well, I think I gave about 7 or 8 of them. Those
You
were.
did, yes.
I mean, you know what? So what I was saying. Oh, I know what I was saying. You know what I was saying was that sex is such a healthy thing, and people are so afraid of it, and they're so ashamed of it. And the reality is that we wouldn't be here if 2 people weren't having sex, right?
It's true.
So it's something that's very natural and beautiful if it's between people who are in it because they want to be, not because they're forced to be.
And it's also like with the 60s when I lived in Greenwich Village in the 60s, the late 60s. I mean, sex was everywhere.
Oh, you must have had a wild time.
Oh, you know, Plato's Retreat, everything, and there was up there in the hotel in Sonia, and all the swingers in the 70s.
And there's still swingers today, too.
Oh yeah, I love that.
There's a big swingers
I think
community.
It's very healthy. That's a very healthy lifestyle. Because I remember years ago when I was, into that and doing that. When I Plato's Retreat, I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was a very famous place in New York, a swingers club. And when I went there a few times, and you'd have group sex or whatever with a bunch of. And when I left there, I wanted to make love to somebody I cared about.
Yeah,
it was like,
so it opened up your heart?
Well, and you went there and you got all your desires out. You screwed, you fucked, whatever you did. And then you wanted to make love after that, which was a...
So you wanted to connect on a deeper level.
Yeah, well,
That's what you wanted to do,
yeah.
really, right?
Yes, someone you cared about. So the swinging parties that I went to, the married couples, and I understood why they would do that. I remember this one fellow, he gave his wife 5 guys for her birthday.
Wow.
She wanted them with 6 because I jumped in there too.
You had a wild life, I bet you.
Yeah. Well, Bonnie, I was open. I'm in the village and it's not, you learn to, it was a different world.
Well, and you know what? It was pre-AIDS. So,
yes,
let's say
yes,
that,
yes.
Today you have all different kinds of diseases. You have STIs. I mean, you have to understand something. To just go out and have free sex all the time today it's a dangerous thing.
Right.
1 in 3 people has an STI. So they change it from STD to STI.
What's the difference?
Because I is the infection and D is a disease. So they're not all diseases, but they're all infections. And so it's a sexually transmitted infection. That's, what they've just, recently changed it to. So basically, 1 in 3 people is going to have an STI. That's huge. So if you're not protecting yourself, that's a problem. One of the things I love about Sex Butter is it's antifungal and antibacterial, and it actually pH balances the skin wherever it touches.
Oh, no, that's interesting.
So, that's a good thing because anybody who knows anything about an area of the body, or if your body is pH balanced, and different parts of your body have different pH. Like your topical skin has a pH, your internal body has a pH, the vaginal area has a pH, and they're all different. But the thing is that if your body is pH balanced, then the chances of getting disease are slim to none.
And it's amazing because, almost today, you always have to bring a doctor's note.
Exactly. And a condom.
Yes, well, I used to carry, well, I still do there. I take out a jacket and they're in there somewhere. But I used to carry, the doctor's notes about AIDS. I didn't have it. But it's amazing that that's what you have to live with today. So it's finding that partner, which is very, you're a woman and but to find as a man, it's very difficult to find women who are totally open to trying things and being a,
Do you know why?
exploring. Why?
Oh, this is a biggie. 80 to 90% of women have huge body image issues. Like, they really don't like the way they look. And so they think that you're staring at the body parts that they hate. So, like, let's say cellulite on the thighs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, if a woman feels really uncomfortable with herself, some of them will not even get undressed in front of you. They won't have sex during the day or where you can see them. They'll only have sex under the covers. There are couples, and I know some, and have spoken to them, that have been married for over 30 years, and the man has never seen her naked.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, that was really a shocking thing to me. And the reason I actually researched this is because as I was talking to women about this product, going to networking events, they would be like putting their head down and walking away, like in shame. And I was like, what is going on? Very uncomfortable with themselves. And so I started to do the research, and I was shocked. Up to 98% of women hate at least one thing about themselves. And when women are growing up, they're raised based on how their beauty. You know, like when you see a little girl, oh my God, she's so cute, she's so pretty, oh, she's so beautiful, you know, as the person's growing up, or they say nothing. When they're talking about the boys, they talk about how athletic they are, or strong they are, you know, or they're a fighter, or, you know, it's like, but women are made to feel like they need to be beautiful, and that's like the only thing about them, not how smart they are. I remember when, as a kid, I was a tomboy. Can you believe that?
I can believe it.
I mean, I really was a tomboy. I'm talking about, I used to play football and baseball in the streets and basketball with the boys. I was as good of an athlete as boys were, up until 7th grade. 6th grade, I was the tallest girl. I was the tallest kid in the school.
What happened in the 7th grade? You sounded like boys?
Well, in 7th grade, you know, I was starting to go through puberty, and, you know, my hormones kicked in, and so I started to like boys, you know, and so it was a little different, so I started to change. I still have a lot of male energy, masculine energy. I mean, everybody has both masculine and feminine, but I definitely am very direct. People think that I'm from New York a lot, which I'm not.
I am.
But I get called that a lot because I'm very direct. Because you know what? I like dealing with men. I had all male friends when I was growing up. And then it wasn't until like maybe 5th or 6th grade when I started to have some female friends. So I like men. I love men, actually. But it doesn't mean that I slept with every man, you know, because I had a lot of male friends. And I think that that's a very healthy thing also, is to have male friends as a female. And so I had a lot of these same issues also, but for me, they didn't start till later, until I went into puberty. Like kids today, little girls today, most body image issues are starting at the age of 5. I mean, that's really sad. You know, they're looking at magazines of pictures of beautifully photoshopped, perfect people. You can't even look at an apple that's not photoshopped in a magazine today. It's so perfect that it's completely unattainable. Nobody can even look like that. So we grow up and we feel poorly about ourselves. And then, you know, men want us to be, and then how are we learning about sex? We're watching porn, thinking that that's how sex is, and that we're going to be rock stars.
Do a lot of women watch porn, you think?
I think women do watch porn, yes. In hiding. Like, they don't, you know, they don't come out and talk about it so much. They read books. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to read Playboy. And not because I wanted to look at the centerfold. I actually liked the articles. I loved learning about sex. I really did. I mean...
Well, yes, I would imagine.
Well, but I didn't start doing this until much later in life.
Well, you're one of the women, when I was saying about women, you're one of those women that I like. Direct. I like a woman who's, you know, I had a friend in New York, I'll just say her first name, you know, Ruth. I always remember when we went to see her movies, she wasn't shy, and she'd just reach over and grab me right in the theater. You know, and I used to love that. I said, why, you know, I love women that
Dominate.
Dominate. I'm not dominate. I don't want, you come in with a whip, no good.
No, but dominate doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a whip. Okay? Dominate just means that you have a strong personality and you like to take control. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're whipping somebody.
Yeah. I heard. And it's true because that's a woman to me. And sex is so great when you have sex with a woman who's
confident.
Afraid.
It's confident. That's
Confidence.
the thing.
That's the word.
You know what? That's the number one thing that men are attracted to in a female is confidence.
Confidence.
It's not beauty. It's not their hair. It's not their body. It's not their big boobs. It's not their sexy body. But it's confidence. No, but it's the number one thing.
You look at Sophie Loren or Anna Mangani. Now, Anna Mangani, I remember Anthony Francioso, the late actor. He did a movie with her. And he said that was the sexiest woman he ever met in his life. And Anthony Quinn said that too. But I always fell in love with a woman in a black slip after the rose tattoo. Every time I see big breasts and a black slip, I'm in love.
Or lust, I don't know. Which of the two, right?
I don't even look up. Or I'm right there. I am a pervert that way, but not really a pervert. But I enjoy a woman.
Well, you appreciate women, and there's nothing wrong with that.
When you were talking before, we were talking on the other show about how women have to look, and I'm thinking, I remember if you look at the old Italian sculptures and the women were big.
Oh yeah, they were much more voluptuous. Oh. Today most women are trying to be really super scrawny. That's the truth. But in the old days, look at the Victorian days.
Right.
They wanted you to be really plump. And what has happened is over time, it's gone from being quite large to very voluptuous and curvy and not perfectly looking, having fat. Marilyn Monroe was not a twig, let me tell you, but she was hot.
She was
sexy.
Everything was so natural, that little belly
and she
sticking
was
out.
Comfortable in her body.
Right, yes.
That was her confidence.
Yes.
She may have had other issues, but she was very confident in her body, and she showed it. And that's what men were so attracted to. Yes. She wasn't a size 0, and she wasn't a size 2.
You're right. I remember. I'm a member of the Actors Studio, and in New York, the ladies' room is called the Marilyn Monroe room. After her. She had that confidence in her body, and she used it. Which today is. You're right. They're so skinny and something. I remember one time I went to see some Penthouse Pets. Many years ago, I was going out with one of the Penthouse Pets, and over at Guccione's place, he had just moved on Madison Avenue. And I was so amazed how thin and small they are.
Right.
Pets.
They basically are a size 0 with, triple D and E breasts.
Right.
That are fake, of course. Yeah. For the most part. Let's face it.
That's another thing that's, you look at the old,
it's like 2 boobs on two toothpicks.
store-bought breasts today is the thing, and they feel real. Some of them don't.
Mm-hmm. Some of them do, some of them don't. You're right.
But a woman with real breasts is a delight to find.
Well, and it's becoming more of a rarity.
Yes, it's a delight to find that, I can get into women because I love them and I enjoy them. But this sex butter. Let's get back to.
Yes.
We're getting off on sex butter here. We're talking, and I really, and I'm not saying this because you're on air with me now, but I really would love because you said something earlier. People don't talk about this, and it needs to get out there. So we need to have some women. If any women ever use this product or are interested in using this product and would like to come and talk about your experience before and after, please get in touch with me or, Bonnie. And love to have you come and talk about it. Because it needs to get out there and try this product. I'm a big fan of anyone who wants to promote
positive sexuality.
Well, not only sexuality, but positive way of living, happiness, joy, where you can feel good about yourself. And that's
confidence.
Confidence.
Well, I'm a body liberator. That's what I call myself. And because of what I'm really doing is I am teaching people how to liberate their bodies.
Right.
When you sexually open up, I don't know if you know this, John, but basically the essence of who you are is in your root chakra.
What is that?
Your root chakra
Yeah.
It's all the way down at the bottom.
Oh.
Like literally at the base of your spine. All the way down at the very bottom. That's who you are. Okay, then comes your sexual chakra. Right?
Okay.
So, in the sex organs, right? If that is blocked, you never ever find out who you truly are. Like, you never get down to the essence of yourself. You never, like, your passions don't come out. All of the things, your purpose, the things that you really came here to be and do, you don't get to that point if you're blocked up sexually. You don't.
No,
and so you end up being this person who kind of goes through life existing instead of living. And so sex butter, to me, is like giving somebody more life. It's like opening somebody up and allowing them to experience things that they have never experienced before sexually, to really open up their bodies, to really feel good and feel comfortable with themselves and confident so that they can come out and be all that they came here to be.
Right. Because when you look at history or you look around, I'm sure a lot of the folks out there know, people who are, say, sexually frustrated, who are not into it, usually are not very happy people to be around.
They're usually miserable, are you kidding me? I know for myself, if I'm not having orgasms regularly, I'm a bitch. And I've said it before.
Yeah.
And I am.
Well, I see.
Because I'm holding in all this energy and it's tightening up and it's literally inside of me and it's going to have to come out somehow.
Yeah, it's a therapy, ladies and men. It's a way of really.
It's relaxation.
It's
also stimulating, like from a creative standpoint. People that have orgasms are much more creative than people that don't. That is the truth.
Well, as a man, I know if I have to masturbate or whatever it is in climax, then I'm ready to relax. But when I have that sexual drive going and that wanting a woman, it's like I can't concentrate, I can't relax or anything. It's there.
But women are different.
Yeah, I know. Women are different. As a man.
Yeah, so as a man, okay, that's why a lot of times, they teach people certain tantric techniques not to ejaculate out, to actually keep their chi and move it up and through their bodies. So for females, it's actually the opposite. Orgasms are stimulating, they're invigorating, they actually wake up your body, they actually get your body going, and so you actually energize yourself from having orgasms.
Do you have a book out or anything like that?
I don't have a book out yet, no.
You should. Really. I
am going to be writing a book, actually.
Really, because your knowledge, you sound almost like a professor, or did you go to medical school?
No, but you know what, I've read a lot about sexuality, I've read a lot about sex, a lot of books, watched a lot of video, and I know a lot about the body because of it, and I really feel it's such an important thing. I really hope that women choose to open up. Religion has really suppressed women in the United States, and men for that matter,
yes,
but more women. Women are kept down. They're kind of like kept down by religion, more so than men. And it's really important that you really learn to understand yourself and you really find out who you really are. And if you're going to really live and you really want to fulfill something that's, meaningful, purposeful to you, it doesn't have to be purposeful to everybody. You really kind of have to get down to who you are. And doing that through your sexuality is something that is easy, it's free, you don't have to pay for it. Well, hopefully. Well, you could be masturbating. You don't have to be with a partner to do this. So what I'm saying is you really can find out so much about yourself. Just the finding out what makes you feel pleasure is a huge thing.
How about, do you recommend toys for people?
Oh, yeah, I do. But when I recommend toys, you really need to look at what toys are made of. There are many toxic toys. The plastics that are not supposed to be. There are many toys that are made of plastics that are really toxic for your body, and a lot of women are even using those. Yes, and but even the ones that are made here.
Really?
And they're using them inside their vaginal area, and they ruin you. You really need to get some medical grade silicone toys, and a good way to think about a toy is if you can smell it, and it smells like you can smell chemicals, don't buy it and don't use it.
Very good tip. Wow, that's that's really good to know. You can smell it.
Yeah, seriously. If you can,
don't use it.
If you can smell it, because if you can smell it, you're smelling chemicals.
Right.
That means that when you put that unit on your body or in your body, those chemicals are infusing into your body. And your vagina is a big mucous membrane. That's what it is. It saturates up anything that comes in there. So if it's good, it'll saturate up the good, and if it's bad, it'll saturate up the bad.
So just need peppermint, chocolate peppermint mints. And that's you want to taste.
That's organic, and it feels good. Now, this is not sweet. We don't use any sweeteners in it, so that product is actually very natural tasting, but it smells like delicious. And you know what's really nice also? After you have sex, you know, some people kind of have, you know, like odor. Sex butter kind of gets rid of all that and makes it smell so good.
Well, especially with men too, I would imagine. If you're not circumcised, men.
A lot of men have odor for that reason too.
For that reason.
So you can use sex butter literally just for that purpose, just a drop. And as you saw, I used like a speck, and it covered the whole base of your hand.
And I can still smell it.
You still smell it, and you know what? And your hand is still soft.
Right.
Because it saturates
that's from your
the
sex
skin.
butter and the coconut.
Yeah.
The extra virgin coconut.
Well, what it does is this absorbs into the skin, and what it does is it makes the skin more malleable. So for women, when they're using it, you know, especially women that are dry, their tissues are also dry, and they can tear their tissues if they are not using some type of lubrication that's really lubricating them, and they can bleed. So like a lot of times people have sex and the female will bleed. Sex butter really stops that from happening. So for anybody that has that type of thing, this product is amazing because it actually saturates into the tissue. Okay,
once again, we have to let the audience know how they can get sex butter.
They can buy sex butter at www.sexbutter.net.
Well, you don't have to use the W's anymore. People just use sex.
Sexbutter.net's good.
That's really, and Facebook too. You can look up on Gayle on Facebook, and then there's a sex butter
page. Exactly.
And you can look. This will be on. Today is what, the 11th, the 10th? What is today?
I don't know. I don't know dates.
Well, today's the 11th, so it'll October 11th, and it'll be on YouTube tonight. And as some of you guests out, people watching, if you want to come on the show, please let me know at 818-773-0991 or themethodactorspeaks at Gmail. I too, John Solari. You think of Solar, put an I at the end on Facebook. And I want to thank Bonnie Gayle. Please promise me that you'll come back and bring some.
Absolutely, and I want to thank you because you gave me the opportunity to talk about something that I'm so passionate about, and I hope so many people, you know, can benefit from. So sexbutter.net, and thank you so much, John.
No, really thank you. And once again, this is something that needs to be talked about. So don't, when you see the name Sex Butter, don't think you're watching a sex show. You're watching about life. This is something that deals. It's 100% about you. That you can feel better about yourself before sex, after sex, and during sex. That's what life is all about. So thank you very much, Bonnie.
Thank you.